Which other world leaders have you invited to the inauguration?
The world leaders are calling me.
Donald Trump held his first news conference since his victory. He downplayed concerns that his administration would revoke the authorization for the polio vaccine. He suggested he might pardon New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Trump said he would push Ukraine and Russia to end their war.
But in the end, I never understood why Russia went there. They were not getting very much out of it. But now their time is taken up with Ukraine, and we'd like to get them to stop on Ukraine, and Ukraine stop also.
He accused the Biden administration of withholding details about drone sightings. Trump discussed his meetings with pharmaceutical and tech executives. He also invited world leaders to attend his upcoming inauguration. Trump stated,
"Well, I'm a big believer in it, and I think everything should be looked at, but I'm a big believer in the polio vaccine, the Salk vaccine."
Do you think schools should mandate vaccines? Do you think schools should mandate vaccines?
I don't like mandates. I'm not a big mandate person. So, I was against mandates. Mostly Democrat governors did the mandates, and they did a very poor thing. It was, in retrospect, they made a big mistake having to do with the education of children. They lost like a year or 2 years of their lives. The mandate was a bad thing. I was against the mandate.
His comments come amid concerns about his HHS nominee, Robert F. Kennedy, Jr. He tasked Kennedy with preparing a report on the issue. He described Kennedy as a
very rational guy. I found him to be very rational.
He noted that autism rates are higher now than decades ago. Trump said his administration would investigate the cause.
But we're going to look into finding why is the autism rate so much higher than it was 20, 25, 30 years ago. I mean, it's 100 times higher. There's something wrong, and we're going to try finding that. We're also going to find out why are we paying more than other countries.
Trump said he doubted the recent drone sightings were linked to a foreign power.
I can't imagine it's the enemy, because if it was the enemy, they'd blast it out. Even if they were late, they'd blast it.
He criticized the Biden administration for not disclosing more details.
The government knows what is happening. Look, our military knows where they took off from. If it's a garage, they can go right into that garage. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows, and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense.
He questioned why the administration had not shared information with the public. Trump said,
"Would you consider pardoning Eric Adams?"
Yeah, I would. Yeah. I think that he was treated pretty unfairly. Now, I haven't seen the gravity of it all, but it seems, like being upgraded in an airplane many years ago.
Trump stated he knows both Zelensky and Putin well and would push for a deal to end the war in Ukraine.
He should be prepared to make a deal. That's all.
Trump emphasized the urgency of stopping the horrible war in Ukraine. He described the high death toll, saying,
"We're working very much on that. We're trying to get the war stopped, that horrible war that's going on in Ukraine, with Russia, Ukraine. We're going to, we've got a little progress. It's a tough one. It's a nasty one. It's nasty. People are being killed at levels that nobody's ever seen. It's very level fields, and the only thing that stops a bullet is a body, a human body. And the number of soldiers that are being killed on both sides is astronomical. I've never seen anything like it. And rapidly, I get reports every week, and it's not even, it's like just they're going down. Nobody's seen anything like it.
Trump warned Republican senators about opposing his cabinet picks.
If they are unreasonable, I'll give you a different answer, an answer that you'll be shocked to hear. If they're unreasonable, if they're opposing somebody for political reasons or stupid reasons, I would say has nothing to do with me. I would say they probably would be primaried. But if they're reasonable, fair, and really disagree with something or somebody, I could see that happening.
Trump praised Pete Hegseth, his nominee for defense secretary.
I think Pete Hegseth is making tremendous strides over the last week. He's going to be great. Look, he went to Princeton, he went to Harvard, he was a great student there, but he really was, from the first day I met him, all he wanted to talk about was military. He's just a military guy. I think it's a natural. This was my idea. And Pete Hegseth gave up a lot because he was going big places in Fox, big places, a lot of money. And he didn't even hesitate. When I said, "Do you want to do this?" He said, absolutely.
Trump addressed the future of the TikTok app and suggested that he reconsider banning it in the United States.
You know, I have a warm spot in my heart for TikTok because I won youth by 34 points.
Trump plans to meet with Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos on Tuesday. Trump discussed recent meetings with major tech leaders.
I did have dinner with Tim Cook. I had dinner with sort of almost all of them, and the rest are coming. And this is one of the big differences, I think, between, we were talking about it before, one of the big differences between the first term. In the first term, everybody was fighting me. In this term, everybody wants to be my friend. I don't know.
Trump criticized the telework agreement for Social Security Administration employees.
Somebody in the Biden administration gave a 5-year waiver of that so that for 5 years, people don't have to come back into the office. It involved 49,000 people. For 5 years, they don't have to go. They just signed this thing. It's ridiculous. So it was like a gift to a union.
Trump said world leaders are calling him and asking to meet.
The world leaders are calling me, and some really
coming?
would like to meet. No, I mean, literally, they're calling me, and I'll be seeing some of them. I think it's rude not to. I mean, it's hard to say I'm not going to see you. And I've spoken to way over 100 where they called to congratulate on not only the election, but the size of the election, the extent of the victory. And they were great. I mean, I spoke to over 100 countries. You wouldn't believe how many countries there are. And I'm trying the best I can to get back to everybody, but there are a lot of countries, and every one of them, literally everyone called, and it was very nice.
Trump condemned social media users praising the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. He called the murder...
I was happy to see that it wasn't specific to this gentleman that was killed. It's just an overall sickness as opposed to a specific sickness. That was a terrible thing. It was cold-blooded. Just a cold-blooded, horrible killing. And how people can like this guy is, that's a sickness, actually. That's really very bad, especially the way it was done. It was so bad, right in the back.
The president-elect commented on the 2006 Duke lacrosse case.
I thought it was a hoax when it happened, the Duke situation. I didn't believe the woman, as you know. And they destroyed the lives of these kids. They destroyed, and I don't care what they got. Their lives have been destroyed. Their lives have been shortened by what took place. And now the woman admitted that it never happened. That is a horrible. And as you know, I took a lot of heat when I said that this did not happen. And those kids were beautiful kids with beautiful families, and they were, in some cases, will never be the same. They will never be the same.